It's a Sunday morning, and I have a rare opportunity with the house empty to open up a live stream on a Sunday morning. And I am just playing around with shots. Playing around with the configuration of stuff in the studio. There we go. Got a couple of people coming in. Hello, everybody. I was sitting here, like, I had my studio all, like, pulled apart after my office hours thing on Friday. I did what I'm very good at, which is, oh, well, I'm just going to do that right now. And I started, like, pulling stuff out and shifting out the studio setup to, try new things as far as how it's all set up right now. So this shot looks a little different. But I started it, and then the weekend started, and I didn't have any time to, like, put it all back together. So then this morning, the house is empty right now, at least until I get a message from my friend where my younger daughter stayed the night. So at some point, she's going to come back, and I'm going to have to go get her. But I figured until then, like, I'm just kind of here, like, playing around with the configuration of my studio and feeling very boxed in. I wish I had, like, a camera to show you just how messy it is right now. I could probably get it going here, actually. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. I don't like that template. Let me see here. Get a different template. That template's not doing it for me. Theme. Block. Bubble. There. I'm feeling the bubble. Sure. Okay, there we go. Hi. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'll leave you up there because you are the sole chatter at this point. So let's see here. So I can, on my phone, if I go to... Give me 1 second, and then I can begin to show you just how much of a mess this room is right now. Oops. TT. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, no. Okay. What did I do wrong? Let me try that again. Thank you for being patient. This is not a regimented, planned live stream. This is a free-flowing, open it up, maybe have things to say, maybe just doing some shuffling of things. So, don't expect high-quality content right now. That's not what I'm really doing this for. I just figured I was doing it. I was, like, messing around in my studio, configuring things. And so, actually. Oh, join. No. I just did it. Try one more time. Okay. Now I think it'll work. Do it. Allow this time. Okay. Enter. Oh. Another JSON cam. Sorry, I'm configuring StreamYard. Okay. All right. See, I wish I could mute the damn thing. But you can't. Can't mute it. Okay, so let's see here. So you want to see just how much of a mess this room is. Let's see here. Hey, that works. That's neat. You might hear a little bit of feedback because for... Check. Because for whatever reason, This likes to put audio out the speaker no matter what I do. I wonder if I can like mute it if I plug something into it. Check, check. No, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. Not going to do it at this juncture. Let's see here. How about this? Did this work? No? Why not? Dang it. Oh, because this doesn't have a headphone port. Whatever. It is what it is. Hi, Stephen Wells. Hello again, Daniel. Hello, Jesse. Steve at Geeks Corner. There we go. How's it going? Okay, I realized I forgot that I had this camera going. Okay, so you want to see how messy my studio is. So let me see here. You'll hear me from afar. Okay, so here's my desk. This is all the stuff that you don't see inside of the shot, right? Because it's like hidden. I mean, it's not normally this messy. But where my desk normally is pushed up against, it's usually been up flush. And then this camera, which is my standard camera, was always over here in this open area. And I always talk about the door. That's the door to the gym or garage, and then this is the open area to the rest of the house. So when I talk about how challenging this room is, that's why. There is no door whatsoever right there. And then when I go in here, it's kitchen. See? So, you know, it gets noisy and all that. So anyways, my thought, what I was thinking, because I saw a video of somebody else's setup, and I was like, oh, I should try that just to see if it works for my setup, is the way I had it before is I had that camera sitting in this open space right down there. And that's great because it gives the kind of corner shot of my backdrop like that. But I thought, what if I pull the desk out a little further away from the wall, so there's more gap here than there used to be. And as need be, I can just move these reference monitors to kind of like hide that, you know, aesthetically speaking. And if I pulled this out, which I've done, and then I move this camera behind the desk, you can see it's a mammoth kind of mount for that. Would that give me a good enough shot of the corner? Because I can't really go this far because you start to see kind of the window and everything. Oh God, look at that. It's just, it's such a mess. My dog, one of my dogs has a towel addiction. And so there's towels everywhere in our house. So that's why that's there. Oh, you can't hear? Wait a minute, Daniel, you're saying you can't hear, but you should be able to hear, right? Oh, was it because... Wait a minute. Well, hold on. You should be able to hear me, though. Why are you not hearing me? Is that any better? Yeah, you can hear. Okay. So what it was because I walked away. I've got this one mic in the room right now. And when I walked away, I was too far away from the mic, and the mic is so good at rejecting audio that you didn't hear it. Okay. I'm not going to do that again, though, so I'm here kind of going forward. Better now. Yeah, okay. Because I'm closer. I also put on auto gain, which I wouldn't normally do, but right now I'm kind of like, I don't care. This isn't like something I'm going to do anything with. But anyways, total mess, randomness everywhere. I don't have much space to work with, but what I want to do is bring that camera in closer as I've done. And then that allows for this shot, which still gives me the corner, but it's not quite the same. You know, like it used to be, the shot used to be more like that. And if I do that, then where I sit at the desk is not ideal, because then I have to like start moving over here, and that's just not where I sit. My goal is to try and make this so that, ooh, I don't want to ruin the monitor. My goal is to make it so that I can just kind of like go, you know, just like flick a button and go. I don't want to have to set stuff up. So it does involve changing the shot a little bit. It's not a bad shot. It's just, Yeah. Well, I don't know that I need to dampen the noise. That oh, are you talking about that open area? No, it might cut a tiny bit, but it wouldn't make much of a difference. And honestly, like at this point, I'm a year in. I've been really getting very used to the limitations. Here, I'm gonna boot that camera because it's just I keep hearing myself and it's distracting. There we go. Kind of working within the limitations now, so there's that. Let's see if I plug in the prompter, the Elgato prompter, and bring my StreamYard view over there. Then it's got a home. Okay, there we go. That's good. I see that I still have you up, Steve. There we go. Okay. So then I got my camera there, and that looks, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just I kind of liked how the old shot kind of had me centered right where that panel was, you know? So like on one side of me is the fireplace, on the other side of me is the bookcase, but my goal, I explained in the like office hours thing I did on Friday, is that where the camera was is like over to the corner, and the desk is just this straight thing. So in order for me to like face the camera and talk, I'm like going at an angle, and my legs, which are very long, keep butting into the very large base legs for this desk, and it was just really uncomfortable. It's like I kind of got used to like contorting to fit there, but not ideal. And so what I would love is so here's actually where my head is right now. I've got this massive 35-inch widescreen monitor right here, and it's a single monitor. And I also have this bad boy. And what I would like to do is flank the camera. So I'd like to have one of my monitors on one side, another monitor on the other side. That gives me flexibility on how I use those monitors, because there's some things that like this ultra wide is not good at when it comes to production stuff. Like it's great for having like a huge timeline. Hello, Lucky. Welcome. And Larry, I didn't say hello. And Lawton, Clarence, Nuno. Even though you were saying switch mic, I'm sorry. Yeah, I went too far away. That's why that happened. Anyways, so like if I do, because at some point I want to do kind of like music production stuff. And in order to do that and have things look good on the stream, then the window that I'm doing Ableton in has to represent the size of the window or the ratio of the window that you're watching in. But this ultra wide, if I go full screen on it, then it's very stretched out and it adds black bars and it just doesn't look great. And so I've been like faking it by cutting out a portion of the screen and only capturing that. The problem is, as things appear on the screen, like if I open up a Finder window to find a file or whatever, it's like it appears halfway outside and halfway in, and it's just not, dependable or predictable. And so if I've got this, which is the ratio that kind of represents what you would see on YouTube, then I can just have that be the screen that I do all the Ableton-ish stuff in, and it's automatically in the right kind of aspect ratio. But as I look at my setup, I mean, I just run out of space really fast on this desk. This desk is meant for music production more than it is for YouTube production, and so I got to get creative, I think. So, anyways, but this shot is I'm not hating this shot. It looks fine. It still has kind of like the difference. I think one thing that bugs me about it is that the sound panels are obviously not straight, like they're leaning, which they are. But if I could, let's see here. If I could make it, you know what I mean? Like up there, it's narrow. Down there, it's wide. Those things that really bug me. that's popping it forward a little more. That looks a little more uniform. Yeah, it totally looks more uniform. That's better. Something like that. Oh, see, this is so much more comfortable. From like if I'm shooting something, this is just way more comfortable to have it here versus like all the way over there. And then if I'm like looking at my monitor, like, you know, it's on an arm, so I can really kind of rotate it any way I want. But where is that going? Oh, I see. Ooh, I don't want to knock something off the back. But see, like in a perfect world, this camera would be even further over, and then I'd really lose the shot that I'm in right now. I don't necessarily want that. A new app you're trying out called DeskPad, virtual monitor for screen sharing. I could look into that. Debating between getting a wireless charging pad or stick to wired. What's your preference? You mean for like a wireless charging for like your phone? A stick to wired. What do you mean by stick to wired? I don't understand what that. Can you clarify, Lucky? I'm not sure I'm following. Are you talking about a mobile phone first of all, and then like a wireless charging pad surface versus I don't know what a stick to wired means. Oh, just stay with it. Oh, I see. I see. I was thinking like a stick with a wire. I was like, don't know that I'm very familiar with that one, but okay. Charging, wireless charging is very convenient. Usually, when you're wireless charging, you're sacrificing for that convenience. Your trade-off is that the charging is slower. Not all the times, not in every case. Now they're starting to get wireless charging speeds faster. But I would consider that. Is the convenience more important than the speed? Because when it comes to wireless charging, that seems to be the general trade-off. But it's really nice. It's nice to be able to just plunk your phone down onto a pad and like not have to fiddle with it. But it's never like wireless charging has never been the kind of thing that like I have to have. It's always like if it's there, great. And even if it's there, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll use it. Like the OnePlus 13 has wireless magnetic charging, and I'm not going to use the magnetic charging like because I just don't have the infrastructure for it. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I have wireless charging pads, yet upstairs in my bedroom, when I plug my phone in at night, I plug it in. I don't put it on a wireless charging pad. It's just how I roll, I guess. I have an old micro USB pad, and it took 4 hours to charge my Pixel phone. Just wondering, is getting a USB-C pad, would that change much? You just got to look at the specs. You got to look at what your phone is capable of receiving a wireless charge, right? Because they can only receive what they're cleared for, what they've been designed to receive. Some phones offer wireless charging, but it's a really slow, transfer speed of that energy. So you can't go any further than that, in other words. But if your phone's capable and your wireless charging pad isn't providing enough juice, then you can provide more. Tay, what's up, Tay? Super fan of wireless charging. Says he's got wireless charging everywhere he sits down in his house. So there you go. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. Look at what your phone is capable of. Then make sure that your wireless charging pad, like you can look up and see, like, if I'm charging at the maximum capacity, how long is it going to take from 0 to 100 or 0 to 50? And see if that's good enough for you. Just full screen in that area. Oh, so it so with DeskPad, you wouldn't need to share the full screen or try to cut it, just full screen in that area. I mean, I can. See, with OBS, I can say just this part of the screen, capture it. And I've measured out like the right ratio. So I stretch the window out to like I have software and I also have a piece of tape on the monitor so that I know where it goes. It's not true full screen, right? Like, yes, it fits the ratio, but as I'm working with the computer, something like a window will pop up, and it doesn't always pop up inside of the area that I've targeted for OBS. It sometimes pops up outside, and when I'm talking about plugins, sometimes that happens. And then I'm constantly like, I have to remember first of all that I'm not capturing the whole screen, and then I have to drag that thing into view. And I would just rather, like, if I'm working in a true environment that matches the ratio of a video, then I don't have to think about it. Everything that appears on the monitor is captured, and that's really ultimately what I want. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, what I understand to be true is that fast charging does adversely impact battery, um, yeah, over time. But gotta ask yourself, like, are you gonna have a phone long enough for that to matter? That sort of stuff. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it won't matter to you. Have I tried Magenta Studio plugins? I don't know. I mean, I haven't, but I wonder what they are. Magenta Studio. Magenta.tensorflow.org. Oh, interesting. Google Magenta Studio. Oh, it's a Google thing. I had never heard of this. Interesting. Toolbox of machine learning tools and models to make generative music. With an Ableton Live plugin. Interesting. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'm super curious about that. Thank you for letting me know. I hadn't heard about it. And so it's Magenta Studio is a Google product that they have a Ableton plugin for it. That sounds so interesting. Oh, thank you. I had no clue. That's neat. Yeah. I mean, I charge overnight. Like I rarely, or I'm driving, if we have one car that has wireless charging, in which case I definitely use it, but it's a pretty slow charge. And I just set my phone on there by default because it needs to go somewhere. And so it kind of trickle charges while I drive around. Other than that, I rarely ever have to like charge my phone throughout the day other than placing it, or plugging it in bedside at the end of the day. So it's just not a big deal for me. And I don't care how fast or how slow it goes. And plus, Pixel has the thing where it ramps down the charging so that it doesn't like charge up to full and then it just keeps it full all night. It does it slowly to time with your schedule so that close to the time that I wake up, it hits 100%. And that does extend your battery. My understanding is that does maintain battery health over time. So yeah, there's that. Oh, okay. So let's see here. So the real trick, I think, is if I was going to do this setup, I would need, God, this monitor is so big. It made sense when I got it, but now I kind of wish I had two smaller monitors. Never fully satisfied. I almost think maybe this microphone would need to move over there because I've got this huge monitor over here, and right now the monitor boom is getting in the way, and that would really bug me over time. And at least over there I could like pitch it out so that it doesn't. I guess I could go like that when I'm working, but it doesn't look as good as it used to. It used to look a lot better than that. Got these things on top of the table, these things being my Mac Studio, being a CalDigit breakout box, that I've got this like rack mount system, 3 different towers of rack mounts, and one of them is empty. And it would be nice to like move those things into the empty one so that they're not taking up top of counter space. I don't know about y'all, but it is really hard for me to to keep my environment clean. It is really hard for me to not build clutter And that is totally a me problem. It's been a me problem for most of my life. And I am constantly trying to not build clutter, and yet it happens. But when things are clean, I feel so much better. Like I want to sit down and I want to work, and I'm not like distracted by the mess. And part of the reason that I did this is because it just got too much. I was like, okay, I need to just like strip it all apart, start over again, because this is, yeah, it's just too much over time. No, I mean, Larry, I would love to be able to do that. And actually, if I could do that, I tell you what I do. I have underneath this desk is a little sliding shelf thing that holds the keyboard that I have. I have a, what is it, a Native Instruments complete like 60 some odd keyboard. I can't remember how many keys. It's not the full size 88, but it's the one step down, which is great when I'm making a lot of music, but I haven't been making a lot of music lately. And so I've got this thing and very long legs. I've got my desk up on little risers that I cut myself because without them, the desk sits so low that with this shelf, my knees are constantly pushing in because I'm a tall dude. So I built these risers for the desk to lift it up. That gives me some, enough space for the shelf, but the shelf kind of doesn't need to be there because I'm not really making a ton of music with that keyboard right now. I'm kind of thinking like, what am I spending the majority of my time doing right now? And it's not that, as much as I would love to do more of it, and I'm sure I will. So I'm like, okay, so what if the shelf came out and then the keyboard went somewhere else? And then I have a music space for that. But then that kind of changes things because I do want to do some content around music production. And if I'm moving the keyboard away from where the camera is, that's a whole other ball of wax that I got to figure out. And I just don't know that I'm willing to do that. Another thing that kind of stinks is because the desk is on these little risers, which aren't that big. They're probably like that much. They give that much extra space, but it was enough to let my knees be happy. Because I do that, that means that the top of the desk is just a little too high. So when I'm working, instead of my arms being, kind of ergonomically like, I don't know, level, horizontal, they're slightly like up like that, not quite that much, but just to exaggerate. And that gets kind of uncomfortable. I could do a standing desk that lowers and rises. I actually have a standing desk upstairs in the bedroom podcast studio, but I sit at it because again, it's the corner is really small. At some point, I don't know when, but at some point I'm moving into the garage, and it's probably not going to be for quite a while, but it will happen eventually. And when that happens, then I suddenly have much more space to work with, and I'm really looking forward to that because I do feel a little boxed in here. I do not have a green screen, Donnie. Again, I don't know where I put it. Like that bookshelf is like right there. I don't have a whole lot of space for it, and I'm not super interested in every time I want to do something, pulling stuff out and setting it up and lighting it, and I mean, normal studio stuff. I totally get it, but the more kind of barricades I put in front of myself in order to just get started, the more it impacts me, I've noticed. So, yeah, Stacy is she's working on opening up a facility outside of the house, and that'll probably happen in the next 3 months, I think. So that'll be awesome, but I don't know that I'm moving into the garage in the next 3 months because there's some build out that has to happen there. The as converted as it is, it's still not 100% converted, and the 2-car garage door, as wide as 2 cars, is still just a garage door. And our ultimate plan is to actually wall that off because we don't care about the garage. Like, we want it to be an extra space. And it mostly is, except for that. And so it gets really cold in there, and we have to run space heaters because we don't have the heat channeling into there. So there's that consideration. It would need to be, we'd have to set up the heat system and the cooling system because in the summers it gets hot in there. And we'd have to wall off the thing. So there's some build out. Who knows? Maybe I make a bunch of money creating content and then suddenly I have the budget for it. But I certainly don't now, and that's fine. Like I'm used to working in here. It's just I'm constantly looking for ways to kind of set it up and have it be kind of like the right space for what I'm doing. So, let me check, make sure that my daughter does not need to be picked up. I have not heard from her yet. So I think we're okay for now. I did just finish the edit for my Samsung Galaxy Unpacked vlog, and I'm really happy I did it. Like I was considering not, and I put it all out on a timeline, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna probably, I think patrons are gonna get that today. They're gonna get kind of it ahead of all the metadata work that I have to do on it, and then YouTube channel will probably get it tomorrow. Um, so yeah, so patreon.com/Jason Howell if you want to get it a day early. Um, and yeah, it was really cool. And then I got to the end of it and I was like, damn, why? Like, I think I got rid of all the footage from the DroidCon vlog stuff that I was going to do from, I don't know how many months ago. And now I'm kicking myself because I should have just turned it around. People would have loved to see it. It was me hanging out with Ron and Win and Michal and seeing interesting things in New York. Like when I actually think about the vlog stuff that I've done, it was probably the most dynamic, and yet I didn't release it. I'm like, damn it. Yeah, Tay, it's probably like 25-ish minutes, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I really enjoy if I'm good at recording footage in that vlog kind of approach. The edit is really straightforward. Like there's not a whole lot I need to do to it other than lay it out on a timeline and maybe add some music and some graphics here and there and everything. But it's really straightforward. It's just all totally sequential. And yeah, so it's fun. I think Jeff Jarvis and I are going to be going to an AI conference here in a couple of months in Vegas. And so that'll be another opportunity. That'll definitely be a thing that I'm going to do around it. And then I'm also trying to get a sponsor for Mobile World Congress. And I have a potential that I'm communicating with right now. And if that happens, that would definitely be a vlog opportunity as well. So yeah, that's fun. I enjoy it. I don't know that they're going to generate an insane amount of views, but they're fun. They're enjoyable. Oh, that's a great point, Tay. But I haven't done that very well. I just basically back up the final video. I should back up all the footage, but yeah, but it costs money, and I just don't have the money to throw it. I guess I don't know how much is a 20 terabyte hard drive. Are you talking about like actual spinning hard drive? A 20 terabyte, 420. Oh, yeah. Seagate expansion. What is that? 20 terabyte external hard drive, Seagate 280. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. 24 terabyte. Oh, God. The price jump from 20 to 24 is almost a couple $100. Screw that. Yeah, I know it's the smart thing to back up all the raw footage, but yeah, it is smart. I should be doing that. I've certainly thrown away footage that would be useful to still have, but I also figured like I can still go back to my older, projects and just like creatively pull stuff from it. Hey, Tech Sports Love. Just dropping in to say hi to you and everyone. It was great to see you pick up the DJI Pocket 3, which is my favorite camera. Ciao, brother. Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite camera. In the creator space, it has really kind of taken over. I realized something I need to do with the Osmo Pocket 3. I need to start shooting in I think it has log format. I realize that's something that I don't really know very much about, is this whole log thing. I know that videographers love it, and but I also know that it involves having to color grade. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's another step. I'm just gonna put it on full auto and just be done and move along. Like that seems to be a theme for me. But yeah, Osmo Pocket 3 log. Yeah, D-Log, right? And then you do the color grading, um, and things look really good. And they probably look better than me going on full auto, which is what I have been doing. So probably makes sense for me to do that. Is the Pocket better than a GoPro? Don't know. Never used a GoPro. I just haven't. Um, haven't used the GoPro, but hey, people swear by it, and video footage that I see from a GoPro looks great. Um, so I can't compare it directly, but I do like the Osmo. I like how it fits in the pocket. I like how just quick it is to like pull it out and just like flip it on and just go. It makes it easy for me to not overthink anything. just just like record as I go. I convinced you to stay with your S23 Ultra. 25 Ultra newness just doesn't offer enough to switch. Appreciate that video. Yay! Thanks, Matt B. I'm happy that it was helpful. I don't know. I'm not saying that the S25 Ultra is not a good phone or not a good phone to get. I'm just saying like it's just one of those upgrades that you're like, it's nice, but there's just not a whole lot of movement. And I don't even know that I truly recommend like the idea of always waiting another year, because you could do that forever. That's not at all what I'm condoning either. I just thought it was a nice alternative video to create. Like I'm trying to figure out how do I stand out from the crowd, because so many people writing reviews about stuff, and like how can I make a review that doesn't just offer the same things, offers a different spin, my own spin. I have the Moto G, the latest Moto G, which is a $200 smartphone, and I think the reviews embargo on this lifted a couple of days ago, but I'm nowhere near ready for a review on it. And after the S25 Ultra review, or not review, but video that I did, I'm like, what can I do that's different about this? It kind of has me thinking, like, am I just going to do a straight up standard, like, this is my review of the Moto G, or do I find an angle that makes it a little bit different? Finding the angle definitely worked on the S25 video. It's definitely it's seemingly on track to be my most popular video on the channel, and I'm so grateful for that. Like I learned a lot doing that. But now I have to apply it to other videos, so that's where I'm at. Okay. Well, one thing I know is that I really enjoy opening these live streams, and I'm going to try and do this more. I am going to probably shut this down just because like I have a certain amount of time today to actually move around stuff. And if I sit here talking, then I never get it done. And also like part of my moving around stuff involves me unplugging and then replugging things. So like I have to unplug the computer to put it to where I think I want it to go, and then the live stream will go away. And so anyways, I guess thumbs up on the backdrop. Is this kind of an okay angle? It might change it. Here, let me try something. Let me see here. Let me see. If I move this, scooch it just a little bit further. Now we're starting to get to the point to where... So now it's like really in a comfortable zone for me, but the shot is less interesting. It's way more sound panel-y. And I can't quite rotate the way I want to because the monitor stand is right there, and so I can't give it any more rotation. That's all right. Like it's just, yeah, it's kind of samey, with the panels on both sides, which is better than the window that is right there. But you lose out on the fireplace, and the fireplace is such a unique kind of thing. Yeah, I like the other one too. I mean, even when I scooch it back, you're not going to get the fireplace. The fireplace is already kind of like gone at this point from this shot. So it's something like that. But that gets some of the guitars in the shot. It has the kind of like the contrast on both sides of the bookshelf and stuff. You get a tiny bit of the fireplace, but you wouldn't even know it's a fireplace. It's just like a little bit of a yeah, I know. You lose the knickknacks, but I mean that's fine. I was just putting stuff up there because there was a shelf to put stuff on. Hi, Consumer Compute. Welcome. Good to have you here. Am I going to review the Nothing Phone 3A? Well, I'll just say if they send me a Nothing Phone 3A, yeah, I'll absolutely review it. Happy to. I love what Nothing's doing. They're doing some pretty impressive stuff, and they're definitely differentiating on design. So that's cool. Phone reviews in short form works best for me. Like short form, what are you talking about? Like shorts? Or just shorter long form videos? Because I mean, I've done some reviews that are like 20, 25 minutes. Because it's really, that's something that I've identified. It's really hard for me to be succinct. I end up going into detail, and that comes naturally to me. I think it's kind of like a podcast thing. Like it's so easy because of my experience podcasting to talk a lot about something. But I don't know that that's always the right place to go. You know, sometimes I can tighten it up. So shorts. Wow. That's a short review. Yeah, I'm not focusing as much as shorts. I was doing it there for a while, and I was doing doing some unboxings and stuff, and I liked what I was getting to there, but I haven't been doing them as much lately. And yeah, I don't know. I've got unboxings that I've recorded that I haven't edited. It's not enough time, man. What's a camera focal length? That's a great question. That sounds like a question that I should know the answer to, but I don't. Is that the sort of thing that I could find from the lens that I have? Because I could tell you what lens I have. Let's see here. Yeah, shorts can be 3 minutes now. I know. That's better than, I mean, that's, yeah. I don't know if it's better than one, but it's certainly more than one. And that makes some people happy, and it makes some people not happy. Let's see here. My lenses. Well, actually, I just go to Amazon because I got them through Amazon. GH5. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. All time. 2024. No, 2023 is when I got all that stuff. Went on a buying spree at the end of 2023. Okay, so let's see here. I got this one. Oh, and maybe the other one was through KEH. So, one of my lenses is this. Okay, so this is not the zoom. This is, yeah, 12 to 40 millimeter. So let's see, focal length. Yeah, 12 to 40 millimeter. This is, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's the lens that you're looking at right now. f2.8 maximum constant aperture. And then my other camera, and I have it here because this would normally be my overhead shot. Although I don't know that I want this. Like in a perfect world, this wouldn't be my overhead shot. This would be my single. This one has a longer throw. I just don't have enough distance. And the other tricky thing is I have, God, I wonder what it would be like if I swap these out now that I've shifted this a little bit. I think it would be too zoomed in. I would need to be able to be out here in order for this lens to look good. Shoot. Want a little experiment? Let's see what we come up with. you're not going to see anything for a second. So I'm going to take off my prompter. Okay, don't panic. It's going to be all right. I promise. I'm coming back. Where are you? Ah. Come on. There we go. Okay. So now, hold on. Maybe able to see. Okay. So, yeah. See, that is. Let's see here. Remove. This is as far zoomed out as that lens gets. If I could push that camera back further, I could get more out of it. And this is my trick for focus, by the way. I put my mic where my face is going to be, and then I focus to it. Okay. And it'll snap back out. It does that for focus assist. It'll snap out in a second. Okay. So this is as far as I can get on that. Excuse me. I do wish that I could use this lens for my single, because then my overhead lens could be this, which is a little bit flatter. Give me a little bit more space. Doesn't have any distortion on the edges, you know, because this thing just ends up being a little bit wider. But yeah. Hi, Clinton. Good to have you here. So if I wanted to get I wanted to get real intimate with you all and tell you some really cool stuff. You know, this might be the camera, but this is just a little too tight for my preference. You know, I could pivot it, I could tilt it a little bit, but it still would not be. Now, if I was, if this was, let's see here. If this was where I did all my stuff, so let's see. So put that where my face would be. Come on. Does that? There we go. There we go. Okay, so it'll reset itself. If this was the distance that I had, hello, welcome. Yeah, this would not be the right boom. I think eventually I would like to get like a shotgun so that I don't have to have a big mic. I mean, it's a good shot. You know what I mean? It has a nice kind of depth to it. I like it. Yeah. If I wanted to go, let's see here. Let's see. I'm just messing around now. You know, if I had tons of throw, if I had tons of distance, I'm not lit back here, nor is it. It's not focused on here. Focus to the chair. Where is the chair? Where's the chair? Sorry. Is it not in the shot at all? Is it down there at the bottom? Huh. Okay. Well, okay. I don't know how to. It's like I need a dummy to focus to. There we go. Nice dust covered. Okay, let's see here. Something like that. It'll reset. Just give it a second. Does it automatically. Not lit, and possibly, I can't tell because the prompter is so far away. Not lit properly. Like, it might not even be in total focus. But you lose all of the context of the background because everything's so close to me, right? If I had the garage, I could get that kind of distance, and I'd have the background pushed further back, and you end up getting some really interesting shots that way. But I don't have that. I'm kind of locked into this room right now, and I think that I have to return to the other lens because this lens just doesn't work in this space. Not like this anyways. So then I will put that back. Then I got the Elgato prompter, slides right into place. And voila, we are back. I mean, this shot is good. I don't think that it's in focus again, though. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a good shot. This is actually, yeah, for this space, this is the right shot. I'd love to be able to play a little bit more with the throw of the zoom, but I just don't have the space for it. And so then I end up using this as my overhead shot, which means I need to get this camera really far away from the table. So I've got a stand to do that, but you know, I could always use just a little bit more. And not to mention, not only that, but the way when the stand is in place and the camera's mounted to it, I want the camera to be mounted so that it's right side up, so I don't have to do any digital tweaking to like flip the image or anything like that. Or you can buy hardware to do that. For whatever reason, the A10 Mini Pro does not have the ability to flip an image. I wish it did, because then I just hit the button and I'd be saved. So what I need to do, what I'm realizing is with this thing, in order to get the camera mounted properly and have the most flexibility, I need to get a cage for it so that I can kind of attach it instead of attaching it to the bottom. I can attach it like to the side or whatever, and then I can position it the right way. But it all just takes money, man. It's just everything is another X number of dollars. Just all adds up. So anyways, that's to answer your question, whoever asked that. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Tech Sports Love. Yeah, I mean, and it's got the guitars. You know, again, you're missing a little. Well, I can't. I'm out of space. But you're missing a little bit more of the fireplace kind of view. You know, it was kind of nice. There were a couple of days there where I was like, I'm going to put a fire in the fireplace. And that was in the background. But, you know, it's kind of unnecessary. It looks neat, but it's also, you know, gas is not cheap. And it got hot in here real fast and everything. So, all right. Well, and what do you know? I've burned an hour. This is what happens when you open a live stream. But I want to do more of this stuff. So, but I think I'm actually going to shut down the live stream now, just because I know that I'm probably going to get a message to go pick up. Oh, yes, I did just get a message. So now I feel like I need to get in touch with them and figure things out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for offering your insight and your opinions and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm going to shut this down because now I looked at the message. It was 20 minutes ago. I'm like, oh no, now I need to get in touch with them. I hope they don't hate me. So y'all are awesome. Thank you for everything. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye, everybody.